way. Listen to me, and you'll see you're gonna feel alright. You're gonna be alright. You got the power wherever you go. So next time you're feeling low, tap into the power. Feel it start to grow like a fire, lifting you higher, making you feel alright. You're gonna be alright. You've got power, the power to excite. You've got power, it's out of sight. You've got power, I've got power, inner power, and it gets stronger every day. Every day. Alright, you're gonna be alright, making you feel alright. You're gonna be alright. You got the power, you're in control to make you real, to make you whole. An inner power within your soul. Just remember, it's up to you. You're gonna make things be alright. The power will make you feel alright. Got the power. You've got to say, to give yourself a better day, to choose each moment a better way. Now you'll see, starting to feel, you're gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright. You've got power, the power to take flight. You've got power, it's out of sight. You've got power, I've got power, inner power, and it gets stronger every day. Every day. Every day. You've got power, inner power. We've got the power. Gonna be alright. We're gonna be alright. Power's gonna make you be alright. Be alright.
Yes, okay. How is everyone today? That was awesome. Thank you so much for that. How is everyone today? Welcome, welcome, welcome to our beautiful Sunday morning here at Unity of Tucson. Here we are. It's a spiritual community. That's what we are. We are a spiritual community celebrating love, and that is what we are here to proliferate in this world, a loving, kind heart. We envision a place of peace, beauty, power where spiritual principles are taught and practiced within an ever-growing and dynamic congregation. Here come some of the beautiful faces of our congregation. Let's work together by knowing we are love and spreading that love. Yeah, get up and dance too. Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. Although this weight is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home. All right. Well, good morning once again. Welcome to a beautiful Sunday morning here at Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz, the senior minister here. We are a spiritual community here teaching practical tools for a better life. That is my goal anyway, that I can help everyone learn practical tools to engage spirituality in their life, to engage spiritual practice in their life, and make it a better life for ourselves. Because it is my belief that we can precipitate our own spiritual evolution through spiritual practice. So let's begin with understanding the words of our mission statement here at Unity of Tucson as they come up on your screen. Let us read these together. Within the principles of unity, we are a ministry of love, inspiration, learning, wholeness, acceptance, and joy that empowers all people to embrace their divine nature. Your nature is divine because there is only one infinite creative power, that divine power we call God. And since it is infinite, there can be nothing separate from it. And so we are part of that infinite nature, which means we are that which is. Now, the mission is a practical way to engage a vision, and the tenets of the vision of my ministry are simple, and they are as easy as you decide for them to be. They are these: love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And I do also want to let you know that I see you, I feel you, and I know this truth about you, that you are love, you are light, you are life, you are magnificent. I do believe that personal transformation is possible, and our work ultimately is to awaken to that magnificence, that spiritual magnificence that we all are. What I would love for you to do is take this moment, take this opportunity to utilize the chat function on the video wherever you're watching. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, reach out to those people who are watching with you and express your understanding of their magnificence and your own magnificence in your own unique, magnificent, individualized way. Reach out to the family that are watching with you today. And I want to acknowledge those who are in the room here today, helping with the virtual paradigm that we have engaged in. I would say, I see you. I know that you are magnificent, and deeply grateful for you and your support. Yes, yes, yes. I want to say thank you and let you know that I see you, the band, Linda and Adam and Raphael, and grateful to you and know that you are magnificent as well. Yeah. So as those messages proliferate, just allow yourself to be awash in the feelings of love that are being transmitted right now over the internet with this connected community. And in this understanding, let us relax to know that we are that infinite expression of love. In your own time, when it's safe and comfortable for you to do so. And if you'd like to, close your eyes and allow yourself to settle into this moment. Letting go of anything that has preceded this moment right now. Releasing any anxiety or anticipation for what is to unfold. let yourself be here now. Settling into the ease and grace of the infinite, and deepening into the recognition that that source energy is who you are. It is who each and every one of us is. This source energy of love, light, life, flowing easefully, magnificently, as the expression of all life. And we are not only connected to it, we are it. The infinite power of divinity, rooted in our heart, flows forth into expression. And so I will speak the words of this month's affirmation with this understanding that as I speak them, they become the truth of my experience. And if you are willing to accept them, they can become the truth of your experience. The affirmation is this: I shine as a complete and uniquely identified one of the infinite source. I shine as a complete and uniquely identified one of the infinite source. Let yourself consider that idea for just a few moments.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love.
Thank you. I'm going to invite Lydia to join me here this morning. Good morning, good morning. As we light the flames of faith, this ritual that is important to me in my heart, and deepening into this understanding that with each candle that we light, we are honoring and recognizing the truth at the core of all faith traditions, all spiritual ideologies, all religious paths, knowing that each and every one of them is rooted in love. And so this first candle that has been lit is a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light this candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And this final candle we light is a candle which represents the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed, for that is the true nature of divinity, the revelation, the expression, the understanding that there is God at the core of all creation. And when we deepen into that, we heal our lives. And so this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you. The candle here to your left is our peace candle. We keep the peace candle consistently illuminated with this understanding that it represents the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we let that illuminating sense of peace expand beyond our physical presence, we create peaceful experiences in this world. And so let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Thank you. Well, I have a special treat today. We have a guest artist who is joining us virtually to offer one of his songs that has been, it's actually been making the rounds quite a bit in the New Thought circles, and it's really become a basis for his expression of ministry in his own way. Magnificent artist. We actually do a number of his songs here. In fact, Spirit's Prayer, the one, "Loving Spirit dwells in me," he was the composer of that. Gary Lynn Floyd, yeah. And the other song that we do is, now I can't remember it. It's one of our opening tunes that we do. One Big Family. Everybody get up on your feet. Yeah, so that's all Gary Lynn Floyd. And Gary Lynn Floyd is gracing us with this magnificent song of his called Love Cover Me. Here's Gary.
Good morning, Unity of Tucson. My name is Gary Lynn Floyd. It's an honor for me to be with you this morning. This is my song, Love Cover Me. Love you all. As time has unfolded me it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. And with every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony, play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. Love, cover me. May my heart awaken, tenderness be proved. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Sing it with me. Love, 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 love. It's pretty easy, just one word. Love, 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 love. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Sing that one word with me one more time. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love you.
Thank you, Gary. Grateful to have you be connected with this community and for offering us that magnificent, magnificent song. So I wanted to start today with with a quote from Emily Cady. She wrote this: "We have come to a place now where our search for truth must no longer be for the rewards. It must no longer be our seeking a creed to follow. It must be our living a life. We have come to a place now where our search for truth must no longer be for the rewards. It must no longer be our seeking a creed to follow. It must be our living a life." I have a relationship to this particular faith tradition, the New Thought tradition, which is inclusive of unity and, with the path. I don't need to keep harping on the fact that I come from a different path, but it's all the same path. New Thought basically teaches two things: God is all there is, and it operates based on the law of cause and effect. Those are the two things fundamentally that we teach, and we have different ways of understanding that, and we have different approaches to the deepening of that understanding at our core. And one of the things that really drew me to the New Thought philosophy is that we do profess to not be rooted in dogma and creeds and things like that. And yet we say that, but we can also find the places where we have created dogma and creeds around the approach to the philosophy. And so my constant path is to be looking and saying and questioning and wondering, is this something that I have that I'm no longer willing to question? Because that's what dogma is. It is when we step into that thing that we are no longer willing to question. In fact, I will find myself questioning the notion of God being all there is sometimes. Now, that may be shocking to people. But if it's something that we teach, if we say that God is all there is, and the universe, the expression, the forward momentum of this divine power is rooted in a law of cause and effect, I think we must continually question those things to understand the relevance and the truth to the expression of our own lives. It's something that I think is important. Ultimately, our work is to live the best expression and experience of life we can. That's what she's saying. We have come to a place now where our search for truth must no longer be for the rewards. It's not about getting to heaven. It's not about this. It's not about that. It's about understanding that as we accept that we are now in heaven, that we live the most magnificent life in the here and now, there is no place we are going to except that we are living a linear experience of time and space. But there is no destination. Our work is to be the most magnificent us we can be in the here and now moment. Why do we join together on Sundays? Why do we join together on Sundays? What is your purpose? What is it that we seek? What is it that you seek when you join here in this virtual? And yeah, we're virtual right now, but you're still connected if you're watching. Why do you continue to join on Sundays? Our search for truth must be for our living a life. Living life. Finding that spiritual motivation, that spirit impression that shows up as the expression of our lives, free, in complete freedom. That's what I'm here to do. It's what I'm here to express. It's what I'm here to understand and know more deeply at all times. What is life? Life is the energy that propels form into action. At least that's how we define it. That's one of the ways we define life. It's one of the ways we can understand life. Life is that magnificent creative energy that is churning within each and every one of us that wants to be expressed in action. Now, life is infinite, and there is no thing that exists that is not part of infinite life. Now, we define life scientifically in a particular way, but I believe that everything has degrees of livingness. Everything has degrees of livingness. From the seemingly inanimate, I could look at this piano and say that the things that make up this piano are inanimate. They have no life. Of course, the trees did once have life. But at its core, if you break it down to the fundamental, the fundamentals, it's energy. At the core of all of it is energy, and energy is life. And so we perceive it as being devoid of life because it has a lesser, what we may call a lesser degree of livingness. And so our perception of it is that it is not alive. And then we can go through and say, well, as we expand the degrees of livingness and the understanding of the awareness of all things, the degree of awareness of things, that if we go to, say, the plant kingdom, they have a greater awareness in their understanding of life. And so as we expand awareness, we are understanding a greater degree of livingness. So the plants have a greater degree of awareness. And then we move to animals, which have an even greater degree of awareness. And I am of the mind that suggests that animals have self-awareness, which plants do not, I don't think, have self-awareness. I could be totally wrong in all of this, but I guarantee you, my cats, I have pets, my cats have self-awareness. And I think what differentiates the animal kingdom from the human kingdom is that not only do we as human expressions of this divine energy have self-awareness, that our awareness is expanded to understand that there is something beyond the self, and that is part of the evolution. And what that something is, I think, is deepening within each and every one of us through spiritual practice every single day, and that the goal of spiritual evolution is to ascend into what we call the Christ consciousness, to express and experience from that point of view of Christ consciousness, which is a divine life. That is what I personally perceive right now as the highest degree of livingness, divine life, God life. Now, how do we accomplish this practically? How do we accomplish our propelling ourselves into evolution, spiritual evolution? How is that done practically? There are a couple statements that we make, and I think we often make them, and we don't even realize sometimes that we're making them, but anytime we say, I am, and whatever follows that, or I believe, and whatever follows that, we are creating a premise upon which the expression and experience of our life unfolds. And it is also that thing upon which we measure the quality of our lives. I am magnificent. I am magnificent. Are you? You know, I utilize that as an affirmation every single day. I saying to the camera on my midday mindful moment, you are love, you are light, you are life, you are magnificent. Do you have the capacity to say that about yourself? I am love, I am light, I am life, I am magnificent, and believe it, because that's the second part of that. I believe I am. And that belief is so fundamental to my expression that as I embody that belief, the quality of my life experience expands. And that's how we teach the creative process. We teach that the conditions, the expressions, and the experiences of our lives can be controlled through consciousness. What is the level of belief that you have? Just check in with yourself. You know, I've made a statement. We teach that the conditions of our lives can be controlled through consciousness. What that's saying is that everything that I experience, everything in my sphere of experience is rooted in my use of this infinite consciousness. And if I want something to shift in my life, that the way that I shift that thing in my life is through consciousness. So what is the level of belief that you have in support of this idea? Do you believe that you have control over the conditions of your life? A lot of us, I think, feel very much out of control right here and right now in this crazy world that we're living in, but you do have control. You have control. What is the source of this control? The source of this control is our superpower. And that superpower is love. Love is not something we possess. We equate a particular feeling and an emotion and a mix of feelings and emotions with the construct of love, but love is even beyond that. It is the inherent animating energy from which all expression flows. That is our superpower. And when we are in alignment with the love at the core of all creation, the quality of our life expands. Love is the self-givingness of this divine power. Love is the self-givingness of God. Love is the self-givingness of the infinite source. And its result is all creation. Everything that exists is the result of the self-givingness of God to itself, from itself, and as itself to create. And so all that is, it's what, I have introduced an idea to this community, and, I know that people are wrestling with it. They're wrestling with this idea. But this is what I believe is the evolutionary step that New Thought as a whole is taking. And that revolutionary idea is to say, I am God, we are God, because there can be nothing separate. I said it earlier. If God is infinite, then we cannot be separate from the infinite, because then both God and we would be finite. So there can be nothing else. If we teach that God is infinite. In fact, in all faith traditions, there is a conception that God is infinite. And so that's how I have chosen to understand it. Love is the active nature of God, that self-givingness of the Spirit, and its result is creation. Love is who we are at the core, the animating factor behind the form that is our expression. And because we are that very thing, we are imbued with the same capacity to create our lives. We are not relegated to being an automaton in this thing called life. All creation is always happening for each and every one of us at the individualized level, and that creation starts with, I am. Whatever follows that is what you become. Or I believe, whatever follows that is what you become. So the question does then become, what are we creating? What are we creating as the outward expression of our lives? Those statements, I am and I believe, they are not only active at the level of awareness. Also very important to understand, they are not active only at the level of awareness. They are activated below the level of awareness as well in the subconscious mind, and those subconscious constructs are showing up as your life as well. So the power of the New Thought philosophy is to say, I see what's happening in my life. I can look around and I can see what's happening in my life. And if I accept that all of this is a construct of what is happening in my mind, then if I do not like what I see, the thing that I must address is not that out there, it is that which is within. What have you so thoroughly embodied that the I am statement or the I believe statement has become automatic? Here's the good news about the automation. There is a great deal about our lives that we needn't ever worry about. You don't need to relearn in every instant moment how to keep the heart beating. You don't have to keep relearning how to breathe. You don't have to keep relearning how to do certain aspects of the life expression that you are. So that's the good news about the automation. The bad news is, if there is any bad news, the bad news is this: we can embody counterproductive ideas in our mind that continually show up as the form of our lives. You ever know anybody who walks around with a cloud hanging over their head? They're just kind of generally sad and depressed, and they can never seem to get past the stuff in their life that seems to keep dragging them down. Does anyone have that experience? I know I'm asking the people who are in the room, and they're all like, do I answer? I don't know. It feels unusual because there's nobody in the room. we have, we have people in the world whose general demeanor is negative. And we have people in the world whose general demeanor is positive. And we have people in all aspects of the scale in between. The reason that our general demeanor is on any one side of that scale, or somewhere in the middle, it is rooted in those things that we have habitually impressed upon our creative source. So the activity of the mind is creating at all times, and it is either creating welcome circumstances or unwelcome circumstances. And here's the great news. We are not relegated to look out there and say, oh, I feel defeated by the circumstances. We are the ones who can do something about those circumstances. So let's decide collectively today, as this spiritual family, let us collectively decide today that we are going to let go of any relegation in our own minds that we are limited in any capacity. Let us begin to step forth with the notion that it's all good. No matter what the circumstances look like, it is all good. It is all unfolding perfectly, even when it seems that it is not. You are in charge of your mind. I am in charge of my mind, and that's such good news. It is easy to relegate our power to the circumstances. In fact, we live in a culture that encourages us to do that. It encourages us to look around and accept things as they are, without teaching us that we are the agents for change of the circumstances. But it all has to begin with that which is within, first and foremost. One of my favorite quotes, and I'm going to go to my religious science background, one of my favorite quotes of Dr. Ernest Holmes was, "Trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought." In that, and the Fillmores agreed with him, Emily Cady would have been right in alignment with this. All of it is to understand that as we take charge of our mind, we are creating the life we would like to experience and live. What's the difference between trained thought and untrained thought? The difference is this: it is deepening and embodying the knowing that we have the ultimate gift, and that gift is choice. That gift is choice. We live infinite lives of choice. We get to decide how we show up. We get to decide what we believe. We get to decide the truth of our expression and experience, all rooted into that first cause, which is our superpower, which is love. And if love is the creative nature, that superpower is working at all times. So choice is the gift, and it is activated by that superpower of love. Choice is the spark of life. Love is the illumination of that spark. We are always creating something. We are always in that state of cause for the stuff. That almost came out wrong. For the stuff in our lives to be created. We are the cause. Our utilization of this infinite divine power at the individualized level is the thing that is creating no matter what. It is unceasing because creation never takes a break. Creation never gets tired and says, you know what, I'm not going to create today. I'm done for the day. But, we can feel that way. But creation is happening even when we feel like we are done for the day. So the question becomes this: are we active in the process of creation at all times in our lives? We can either direct the cause and have the desired effect, or we can let some unknown cause within us that we have embodied as a belief direct us into something undesired. Where do you choose to be today? What would you do now if you knew that you could not fail in the magnificent creation of your life? Here's the truth. You are never failing at the magnificent creation of your life because you are consistently creating your life, no matter what. It is always being created. The thing that we must address is the degree to which we are creating wanted circumstances or unwanted circumstances. You cannot fail, I believe. You cannot fail when you understand that you are the expression and fullness of love. You are a superhero whose superpower is love. You know the thing I love about superheroes? Superheroes rarely doubt their ability. They rarely doubt their ability and their superpower. but we doubt our ability and our superpower, which is love, expressed through choice. Superheroes simply use their ability. What if you lived a life in which you never doubted your ability? What dream would you choose to live? What dream would you choose to live? The only thing that is keeping you from living your dream, I believe, is doubt. Now, there'll be people who say, oh, well, fear can keep me from living my dream, this, that, the other thing. But if you distill all of those excuses that we make for the excuses we make that propel us into not living our dream, I think it all comes down to doubt. Doubt is the result of an untrained mind. And here's the good news. You have the power to overcome doubt because you are the power. That's the power. That is the understanding. That is deepening into that statement, I am God. You are God. God never doubts. God understands its superpowered nature. And if that's who and what we are, then let us proceed forth. Your dreams are rooted in mind, the birthplace of all creation. Let us never doubt ever again that notion. You can have it all. I'm here to tell you that you can have it all because you are a superhero and your superpower is love. Namaste. As the band makes their way back up to the podium, the platform, it's not a podium, it's a platform, the stage, whatever we call it today. I'm going to invite you to take into your heart whatever kernel of truth has resonated with you and allow yourself to just consider it for a few moments, some idea that you get to carry with you into this week. Let it be fully present in your heart here and now, settling into the good, settling into the magnificent, and knowing that you are that magnificence. At all times, embodied, expressed, for you are the perfect expression of the impression of love upon the creative power of love itself to show up as form, as life.
In the stillness of this moment, I feel peace. I feel peace. In the stillness of this moment, I feel peace. I feel peace, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I feel peace. In the stillness of this moment I feel joy. I feel joy. In the stillness of this moment, I feel joy. I feel joy, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I feel joy. In the stillness of this moment I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of this moment
fullness of this moment, I feel love. Thank you. I'm going to invite you now to allow yourself to resonate with an attitude of gratitude. I said last week when you sang that song, Attitude of Gratitude, was that just last week, Attitude of Gratitude? I said, you know, I have so many favorite quotes. An attitude of gratitude is most salutary and bespeaks the realization that we are now in heaven. That's another quote of Ernest Holmes. And I hold that as truth in my heart, that when I live in gratitude, I'm living a heavenly experience. If I'm not in gratitude, I'm living a different kind of experience. So I'm going to invite you to engage in gratitude here today, and also the activity of giving as we support what it is we are standing for here at Unity of Tucson, to be a place where we come together as a divine congregation and to expand ourselves with love, light, and life in our hearts to create a world that works for everyone. That's really what we're here to do. You can give online at unitytucson.com. Just direct your web browser there, and there's a link there to give. You can also call into the office during our regular office hours, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering that. Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Call the office and you can utilize your debit or credit card over the phone. You can also send in a check, and all of the information on how to do that, our address, all of that is in the description of this video. So we give because it is our desire to continue to proliferate this message, this vision into the world. We want to be here, and it is also an active understanding of that we are living in an infinite circulation, and so let us continue to circulate it all. Let's read together the divine givingness statement, which will show up magically on your screen. Here we go. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center, knowing that it goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless, and returns to me, multiplied abundantly. I thankfully acknowledge God as my source. So as you give, we're going to sing. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. So blessed. I'm so grateful, grateful, grateful. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We're so grateful, 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 grateful. We are so blessed. So, I have an announcement to make. That we had a board meeting last week, and at the board meeting we had a lot of discussion around what the future is in terms of being able to gather in person. So this is the first time you are hearing of this, and what I want you to know is that this is all contingent upon the progression of what's happening in Pima County to be in our favor. But at this point, we are tentatively looking towards October 4th, Sunday, October 4th, as a day that we will begin to open up in a limited capacity to having people in the room at the church. I'm super excited about that. Guidelines for how this will all work are being prepared. Again, it is going to be a limited capacity offering. So what we will encourage, actually we will require, is that you will have to pre-register to let us know that you're going to be here. Keep an eye out in your email for all the updated information as it becomes available this week and next week, and throughout the rest of September as well. Can you believe next week it's already September? Wow. So you heard it here first, and I'm super excited to be able to be moving in this direction, and it's going to feel so good to have people in the room again, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Yeah. I want to say thank you to everyone who has made our virtual service a possibility today. I want to say thank you to Wally and to Don for being here, and your technical expertise allows us to do this. I want to say thank you to everyone who's in the room. Freddie, our administrator. I want to say thank you to Lydia, who helped with the candles today, and there's our wonderful bookstore manager as well. Thank you. And Laura and Karen are also here, members of the board. Grateful to have you here and your service to this community. I, of course, want to say thank you to this magnificent band, Linda, Adam, Raphael. So deeply grateful to you. And I want to say thank you to you for making your presence known here today, not just here in this virtual service, but here today in and as life. That's what's really important. You get to create the life you want to live, so let us live our dreams magnificently today and evermore. As we complete our time here, I'm going to invite you to share with me the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. Now there is peace on earth, for it has begun with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Thank you, God, for peace on earth, for it has begun with me. The truth has been spoken, the songs have been sung, our hearts have been opened, together as one. Center of creation, we are divine congregation, we are no separation, we are, here we stand, the power of one hand in hand. We shine like the sun, here we stand, together as one family. Here we stand. I want to say thank you to Gary Lynn Floyd, too. Forgot to say thank you to Gary. The truth has been spoken, the message received. Our hearts have been opened to what we believe. Center of creation, we are divine revelation, we are no separation, we are, here we stand, the power of one hand in hand. We shine like the sun, here we stand, together as one family. Here we stand, here we stand, here we stand, here we stand. Make it a magnificent week, everyone.